Hello and welcome. Welcome to How to Navigate the Narcissist when there's co-parenting issues and or a custody battle. Hi, I'm Grace Wroldson, award-winning author of several books for women and mothers. They're available on Amazon. I offer strategy and support, coaching calls for moms in custody battles with narcissists specifically. And I'm just going to give you a brief introduction about my work that I do. You can come over to my website, which is gracewroldson.com. My background is that I loved an alcoholic for 15 years before my second attorney informed me my ex was a narcissist, which is why the court battle was dragging on. So I wrote a lot of books about surviving and recovering from codependency and love addiction and trauma bonds, not knowing that I was dealing with a narcissist until the family court battle. So I have several books for women who are trying to break free of codependency. I'm a mother, author, survivor, certified life coach, and thriver. All my books are available at Amazon. You can learn, heal, and grow with me. If you are ready to learn, I'm ready to teach. Here are the 4 books that I have for moms. The first one is Co-Parenting with a Narcissist, 7 Self-Rules to Stay Sane. I like to leave all my tips, tools, and strategies. Know that you are not alone, and my mission is to help motivated mothers who are forced to co-parent with a narcissist maintain their sanity, save their custody cases, and enjoy their child's or children's one and only childhood. I write for moms who are forced to co-parent with a narcissist and stuck in high conflict custody battles. This is you. These books can be helpful. My books can validate what you may be experiencing and give you creative ways to improve your co-parenting conditions. I include all my tips, tools, and strategies for moms to grab onto in my books. You see, there are healthy attitudes to adopt, mindsets to make solid, sanity to hold on to, as well as beneficial perspectives that you can take to really help you endure this dilemma and survive. You can learn all you can because knowledge is power. I say be prepared with some survivor wisdom. My goal is to leave you with tidbits of wisdom, with lots of encouragement, and know that you can endure this and be resilient. So I want to encourage moms to believe in themselves and to remember to learn the valuable lessons in this situation, come out smarter and stronger than before. My suggestion is that you read them in the order that I wrote them for a full understanding. So the first book is the Yellow-Orange book. The second is How to Fight a Narcissist in Family Court and Win, Super Smart Strategies for Success. The third is Co-Parenting with a Sociopath, Survival and Sanity Guide. This is my survivor wisdom. And my fourth book is How to Survive a Custody Battle with a Narcissist when the family courts force you to co-parent. They're available on Amazon, but you can come to my website because I do have a blog full of free resources and tips and tools and strategies. Some of my blogs, as you'll see, are talking about how to get a lawyer and how to not be desperate for a lawyer, or what to think about when switching a lawyer, or what to do about GALs and all the crazy stuff you will have to endure or go through probably when you're dealing with a narcissist. And I talk about navigating, how to navigate this. So I'm a mom helping other moms to be smart, be prepared, be supported, and have hope. And I learn from other mom survivors about family court failures, and now I talk about my own. But we can start using strategy and skillful means. Well, strategy with planning and strategizing with the right people in person, which typically is a family law lawyer that's experienced. And then I like to talk about skillful means and self-rules. And just know if you're going through this, many of us have had to deal with similar frustrations and issues. You are definitely not alone. I strongly suggest reading, educating, and learning as much as you can to get some insight, validation, and tools. I share them all in my books and my blogs. So I encourage you to pick them up and start reading. I do care about what you're going through. I believe that knowledge is power, and we can better a bad situation, especially using legal representation advocates, and skillful means. And I believe you can learn, heal, and grow through this. And like I said, you can come out smarter, wiser, stronger than before. This can change you for the better. You will probably have more boundaries, be able to uphold or assert your rights as you get smarter and protected. This is my newest book because I believe in planning. There's a 3-part survivor strategy in there and legal strategies I used. A Get the Right Lawyer Guide, which is so valuable to interviewing potential attorneys and maximizing your consultations. You go in with your questions, you might come out with the answers, but if you go in with the drama, the pain, and all the problems, and you haven't really stabilized yourself, the lawyer isn't a therapist, and they can't unpack the abuse, the narcissistic abuse. So that's why I believe in getting support. I had what I call a team of 10 in my first book. They were all different types of support people. There are some free, some paid. I also recommend learning how to communicate with a narcissist. That saves your custody case so you don't go off on tangents and lose power. I talk about making a very long, airtight, encompassing, all-inclusive court order, not just a couple things, because if there's gray areas, the narcissist can play in the gray areas of a court order that isn't specific and really cause a lot of havoc, especially around the holidays or special events. So you got to get a plan. And I do believe you have to get multiple supports for surviving this and coming out better off, coming out protected, coming out sane from all the insanity we have to deal with. So find those supports. I do have a Navigate the Narcissist co-parenting video course that gives you just the breakdown of the basics. What do you do? Well, you're going to want to start finding and identifying the leverage because you need that for any negotiation. Usually negotiations are terrible with narcissists. It's all take in their eyes and no give. But if you have leverage, if you are compiling leverage, identifying it, threatening leverage, threatening their narcissistic supply with having leverage, it can help negotiation. You want to be documenting specific patterns of behavior that not only disturb you, but that the courts and judges care about. And how would you know? Well, each case is different. Even though there's similar things in my case and your case and others, each case is very complex, and there's a lot of history and background that can change things that are done in one case versus another. So you've got to find the patterns of behavior of the narcissist you're dealing with that the courts and judges would care about and maybe consequence, and be documenting to show it. It's not just like, oh, he did this once, he was late. It's he's late, 20 times in 30 days or something. And you want to use skillful means. I don't recommend going toe-to-toe with the narcissist. I recommend getting legal support, even if it's consultations behind the scenes on how to deal with this. So many moms are afraid they can't afford a lawyer. There's free legal aid. There's places to look like DV agencies that have connections to lawyers that deal with the high conflict. And I'm sorry to say that when they say high conflict, we get lumped in with it, but it really does only take one person to be the high conflict party in this type of battle and make it the lawyers pit each other, the parties against each other, and it's not conducive to negotiations. So if you can get a parenting coordinator, conciliator, mediator assigned, sometimes that can help avoid trials and court battles. So I have that course down below, and I talk about how the narcissist has tricks, tactics, traps, and much more manipulations. That's what they have. But we have to have strategies and skills, how to talk to these people, and self-rules, places we don't go. If something bothers us, we go to our documentation system, we write it down, we date, time, day of the week, facts, detailed screenshots, because we have the ability to learn and adapt, to navigate and change, and they're just going to be who they are, but they are reacting to us. And a lot of times they are getting our energy, our emotions, hurting us can be their fuel and give them energy when it drains us. So learn that dynamic, know the tug of war, and I say drop the rope. If you're part of any of my moms groups, I leave little tidbits of wisdom, or if you're reading my books, I'm constantly dropping the rope and leaving a lot to the lawyers. When in doubt, you are going to have to call your lawyer and ask questions. I wouldn't call a family member or a friend. You don't know what to send in a reply. I would be talking to a high conflict divorce coach, or a mom who specializes in custody battles and does coaching. Somebody that's been through it or knows how these things can go, because we do need guidance, support, advice, and direction, but we need it usually only from a competent family law lawyer. I mean, you can get my best practices and principles and read what I did, but it may not be what you can do in your case. It might not all apply. So you'll be wanting to have a lawyer who knows the background, the history, the ins and outs, your judge. And so I do have a Get the Right Lawyer guide. And if you are a mom watching this and you can't even afford $10, please message me, Facebook or email, because I want you to have the tools to at least get legal representation. I have a webinar about the need for a lawyer. It's a free webinar with a lawyer explaining that these cases can be very complex. You think it's a straight line to a judge, and no, it zigzags all over the place. And if paperwork isn't filed correctly in the right time, and discovery isn't proper, and everything that you think you're bringing in can get thrown out, dismissed, because the other person, the narcissist, has a high-powered lawyer and knows how to eliminate your evidence because you're not submitting it properly or whatever. And unless you want to study family law, be a paralegal, and go to court and learn this and sit there and actually learn family law and learn your judge's peeves and biases and preferences, then we need a lawyer who already knows that stuff. And we can't go to the lawyer with the stuff that we really need to go to a therapist or a DV counselor with, or a support coach or a strategy coach, where we can unpack all the craziness that we are, the unfairness, the drama, the chaos, the crises that the narcissist creates. And the way I tell this to moms is a narcissist typically wins by destabilizing the target, emotionally destabilizing the target. And we end up creating our own chaos from this. We look like micromanaging helicopter crazy moms, because they paint us in that light and they push us into that light. But if we don't take the bait and we drop the rope and we stand on our truth and power and sanity and strength, and we're solid, we're serene, we've got support behind us, and we take all of our issues to the support people who are confidential and trained and know this stuff, then we are more, we're stronger, and we can't be pushed over, and we can't be pulled in. So I had, like I said, a team of 10. Now I just have 3 experts, but originally I had a Al-Anon sponsor, a CODA sponsor, a DV counselor, a life coach, and now I have 3 people, and I don't need them every week, where I needed them in the beginning all the time to get to stay strong and stable. There are legal strategies that you can use with your lawyer, and there's like 20 that I used. I had to switch strategies as he changed the game. Like, if he couldn't get me in one area, he went for another, and he escalated it. So you can read some of the legal strategies I used, which is, one of them is backing up into the microscope of the family court and using the family court. I know there's family court failures. I've had them, but sometimes family court can provide things like supervised visits, supervised child transfers, child support, all kinds of oversight, consequences, and recourse. So getting a court order that has a lot is helpful. I talk about how to communicate with a narcissist using skillful means and how to stop being the target of blame. And getting a lawyer can really help shift from the target of blame, because the lawyers are going to be what's pushing an agenda or showing up trying to get your rights. A narcissist is usually over entitled and thinks he's the only one that deserves anything and deserves it all. But, the judges and the courts don't think that, even though he thinks that. And the narcissist has a lot of blind spots, and there are ways to talk to them that can make things better. So I encourage you to read that guide. It's on my website. If you're dealing with co-parenting abuse, which is what I call it co-parenting abuse. I have a list. I talk about it. It's really post-separation abuse, where, the narcissist can use family courts to abuse you. It's called like abuse by proxy. They can do financial abuse. It's just a continuing, and an abuser abuses, okay? They abuse you and everything, dogs, children. That's how they are. It's not because of us. It's who they are. So if you want to make that stop, there are some things that you can do. And I always recommend, if you're in a serious crisis, the crisis lines, the local therapy center, the local domestic violence agency and sexual assault center, all of them have crisis support people to help you navigate all the things that could happen. But then as you set boundaries and become more stable, that stuff can stop. And there's things that we can be doing that doesn't escalate the conflict, but de-escalates the conflict. So look in the link below for my Navigate the Narcissist co-parenting video course. We're looking for solutions for our sanity. You can come out stronger and smarter than before. You can learn, heal, and grow through this. You don't just have to go through this, you can grow through this. I just wrote a 25 key phrases that can neutralize the narcissist. It's from my case. It may not apply to your case. Some of this, all of this may not apply to your case. I mean, take what you like and leave the rest maybe for later or another time. But if you're forced to co-parent with a narcissist or in a high conflict custody battle with a narcissist, learn all you can, educate yourself, see if any of this, any one tip can help your situation become better and easier to deal with. Just imagine how that would feel to just have peace. I have this peace now after an over a decade battle. I have peace, I have extra time, I have good representation, and I want this for you and your child. I do have some moms groups on Facebook where you can come and be part of it. Just know that we don't allow anything but anonymous posting, and we don't give direct advice to each other. And we can and we can show care symbols, and we can offer some of the tips on the open messages, but we can't give each other direct advice. We can give each other encouragement and just having our presence there, knowing that we're not alone. Together we are stronger. As I find more resources, make more resources, I post them, and little tidbits of wisdom to digest, thoughts about, focusing on our healing and our case versus constantly focusing on the narcissist. Things like that really do help us stay focused on what's important and what matters most. So I welcome you over to my website, pick up any of my books. Remember to like and subscribe, because this YouTube channel has lots of free videos that you can go back and read. I encourage you to just, through osmosis, get some of this calm and collected wisdom so that you can show up better for your child, for your custody case, and just have a better life overall. So thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see some of you on my Facebook group. And till then, keep learning, keep healing and growing. You are not alone, and you can come out stronger and wiser and smarter than before.